Okay, welcome back, guys. So let's work on the main hair. So we're going to be working on the head hairs, and then once we're done with that, we just transfer the texture to the baby and teddy hair description. So maybe I should let me go to that description and just hide this for me now. Just hide this for me. Okay, we can really work on just this head hairs instead. So select head hairs, add new shader, add new material rather. Then I'm going to be using the Arnold standard for this. Speaking so long, let me do this again. Speaking longer than I should. Maybe the tab is down, so um, it's still not affected. Let me do this again. Okay, Arnold, AI standard here. Okay, then I'll just rename this to AI head. Nope, delete head, head, enter. Okay. So this is the values I use for the eyelashes. So I'm going to try to transfer almost similar values in there, just some changes there. 3.5. Just grab this all the way. This will be fully red. Then the randomization, I think I will just use similar value also 0.35. Okay. So simple. Let's fire this up and let's see what we have. If one not render view should be around this 136. So let me turn off this render region. Fire up, fire up the Arnold render view. Okay. So I was seeing the babies there, so I just went to hide that. And I fired up the render again. So this is what we have. This actually looks cool though. It actually looks cool. You can probably do a separate render for this, just for this one. But probably do a separate render just for this. This looks cool. But just to think I'll just play with some of this some more. Just trying to experiment and see if we can have other variations that you guys can also try out too if you want to. So maybe I should change this melanin redness. I should change this a bit more. Probably use a lower value 2.5. This will be close to blonde though. The blonde there can also work for us if you decide to keep that, which is okay. Let's see. Let's get a closer view. Just the fact that you can have different variations of hair, both black, brown, with just minimal adjustment settings on this is really really cool. So let me try something around 0.4. So I'm just typing different values so you guys can just visualize what you can actually do in here with the variations of hairs you can actually have in there just by adjusting the settings slightly. So this shift, I'm going to change this to an European. I change that to an European, so that will be like around 2.9. So if you check documentation, you see all that in there. Let me just play with the base color. Let me put something around red. Let's see what that gives us. Though based on the documentation, this changing the base color will not give you a, something close to a realistic human hair. But still setting in there, you can also play with to kind of have some dyed out hair in there. If you play with this really well, you can actually have some really cool results there. So just change this to red. This is what I have. This is not an accurate red there compared to the ginger hair reference image we have on the side. But I think this gives the model a bit more character to it. I think this gives it gives my model a bit more character to it. Not looking just like the normal regular hair you have on a human. It feels more tinted, which adds a lot of character to the model and tells a different story about the model. So this is what I have in there. This red hair. It's kind of cool also, giving us a really cool character to the model. Okay. Maybe I tried picking a color from this reference image, so I want to try and use this color in there. So I'll try to use the same color effects, the same colors in there. So I'll just type in the same value in here. Okay. I think I made a mistake there. I think I was supposed to use the RGB 1 to 250, not the one for 1 to 150. Because on Photoshop it has the color variation from 1 to 2, I think 250. So I think I used the wrong one. But regardless, let's just see how this turns out. Let me just push this towards the red. You also have to be mindful that you should not push it all the way to full red, because I don't think, except maybe you want to, except maybe you're using it that dies for the head, for the hair. You should want to have something that has a brighter tone to it, and not something completely dark. More like mid-tone, more like a mid-tone range. But this is also cool too. This is another cool variation also we can have on the hairs also. There are definitely more advanced ways of manipulating the hairs with Arnold render, obviously. But just using the default settings alone gives you really cool results, and very close to realistic human hair. So I'm just trying that out to just show you guys how much variation you can have in here by just changing some of the settings. In my mind, I feel I still don't have a definite idea of how this final hair should look like, but I think these variations I have in here are really good to have some quick renders out of, and then use as a portfolio piece. Okay. Yeah, that's also cool. That's also cool. Let's see. Let me just scroll this to be sure if I save that. Okay. So I have some variations in there now. You can go from a wide range of from blonde to red hair to brunette to black hair to even white hairs. Anyone you feel like. Just make sure you check the annual documentation for annual standard hair to kind of see what you can actually do with that, and the accurate way to actually do it. So I want to kind of transfer the hairs to the baby hair. So that's the there. So I'll just apply material to selected, which I already have my baby teddy hairs description selected already. Then with that turned on, let me just fire up the render, and that should be fresh, and bring that out so we can have the same material for both hairs. Okay. So after a moment, this is what we have. This is also cool. Yeah. I like how this adds some kind of character to the model. So let me review all of this. This just find a good angle for this. Okay. So let me do I have settings for this. So I have a setting in there already made settings. So basically this is the setting in here. You can just take a screenshot of this and then probably use the same thing. So this is fine. This is fine. It should work just fine. Okay, I think that should be in common tab. Yeah, common tab. So let me change this preset to 2k. 2k there. Okay. So I'm going to be using this like a final render for my model. It should be like the final render for our model. Okay, so I will just set this up and then fire up our render. For the most part, this looks cool. If you still want to do some changes to your model in ZBrush, you can always do that. There's no problem with that. All you have to do is to export your displacement map and then bring that back in the plugin. But I think we had a good run for this. We had a good run for this. This will be like the final video for this entire section. So we could cover really covered a lot of topics in the covered a lot of topics, covered the render, covered sculpting ZBrush, covered texturing by hand, covered having different variations for our texture. I think yeah, we also had another variation for the skin texture. I might probably use that later on. I kind of like how this turned out though. Kind of liked how this turned out. So you can always make reference to the other videos we had for our model. But this particular video. Oh yeah, one more thing. I think I brought in some AOVs. I might not use them at the end, but let's just bring them in. Albedo codes. You can also use this on to complete in Photoshop or whichever preferred package of yours. I think specular should also be a good one. Or specular and SSS2. Scroll down. Direct also should be for the lighting. Indirect also. Specular. Probably specular indirect too. Specular direct also SSS. I mean, I might not even be needing all of this, but let me just fire this into the render region. So I can use that later on if I want to in Photoshop to composite this. But it just based on personal preference though. It's completely based on personal preference. So like I was saying before, this video shows you the entire process to take a base mesh head and convert that into a finished work and render the view. We also had the bonus course where we use Marvelous Designer to create the shirts and then texture the jean shirt also. That's more like almost like a let me just say that's like a bonus round for you guys in case you want to know how to work with Marvelous Designer and then exports with Topo texture and bring that back into Arnold and render that out. We also talked about using XGen to create hairs and how to use ZBrush to kind of create base meshes that we can use as a guide to kind of create our hairs and that kind of guide us to create our hairs and stuff like this. So it covered quite a lot. So thank thank you guys for watching. I really enjoyed having you guys on this tutorial. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and I hope you learned something from it also.